r/ask Reddit. What is an addiction society pretends is a necessity? Some people are addicted to comparing their lives to others when they should really strive to be the best they can be. Trying to outperform others leads to endless frustration, but trying to outperform yourself leads to true improvement. Coming from an overthinker, I completely agree. I'm also an overthinker and that comment hit me hard. Even seeing improvement in myself, hell even others noticing it too, you think would be enough for me, but goddamn. I hate that I am stuck always composting myself to others that are better. It's so damn hard to shake. The frustration, disappointment, self-loathing, hate it. Wish I could just not have those thoughts and constant comparisons. Used to never happen. In my circle sometimes I used to be the best person at fill in the blank. Now with the internet being so prominent, comparing yourself to hundreds of thousands of others is fucking depressing. I need to start meditating regularly again. I always strive to outperform myself and improve, and I do. But the horrible thoughts of there always being people who will forever be way better than I ever could at something just destroy all of my pride. Staying up late and waking up early. Felt this one. It's 2:00 AM in my time zone. I have to wake up in 5 hours. I know that, yet I'm not going to bed. 24 hours cable news. Anyone else here old enough to remember Paul Harvey? For decades, people heard his voice on the radio and thought of him as the voice of America. He was immensely popular and was constantly courted to write newspaper columns or have a daily TV show. He maintained that was difficult, if not impossible, to write interesting content on a daily basis and it would lead to false content. I can't say that he was wrong. The rest of the story, yeah, Paul Harvey was a genius and sorely missed. Social media. My Facebook got hacked, basically phished, and they haven't let me back in yet even though I followed Facebook's own policies for getting access to my account again. It's been several days now, so I was thinking, shit, I'm gonna have to make a new account. And then I realized, no I don't. I don't really miss it at all. Social media, especially on one's phone. Having social media on a phone is possibly worse than having a social media account in the first place. Because if it's on your phone there is no stopping you from checking it, which feeds into that addiction. Working overtime and doing more work than the job description entails. No need to pay overtime if you're salaried. Just stay until 9 and cover for the people we had to cut due to COVID. That's the motto where I work. This makes me so angry because this is so close to my life. Swamped because 2 key players in my area are gone due to COVID restructure and riff and we're supposedly fully staffed. The entire side hustle culture. I understand the need, desire and do it myself too. But I find it insane that we need to monetize almost every waking moment. Edit. Holy shit, thanks for the first awards ever guys. Also please excuse me while I go look into moving to the UK. So many replies saying this isn't really a thing there. Some of these side hustles aren't feasible to do long term. Especially here in Canada. Emo hustle culture came about because of shitty traditional jobs with little pay or benefits like flexible time. Just my opinion though, might be wrong about this. If it wasn't the sole cause, it was certainly a contributing factor. No need to hustle if your primary income source already meets all your needs and enough of your wants. Sugar. Completely unnoticed. So much sugar in things people just don't expect or check. Thinking of sugar as a drug has helped me enjoy it more responsibly. Isn't it a fact that most low-fat products, they have a lot more sugar added to it to compensate the flavor? Edit. Just to clarify, this comment is about processed products. Think stuff like low-fat mayo or low-fat snacks. Being too connected to friends or social media. You don't need to be constantly on your phone and stopping what you are doing every 5 minutes to look at your phone. Friends are great. Spending time with friends is great. Seeking validation every 5 minutes from virtual acquaintances you don't care about is the opposite of great. Yes, I realize I'm saying this while literally trying to impress strangers on Reddit. The irony isn't lost on me. Even so, it's not that social interaction is bad. It's just that the virtual kind is often of such low quality that you'd be happier doing something else. This is what social media has turned into in my family. I am so upset. I liked 100 pictures of so and so's baby, and now that I have a new grandchild, I get no likes back. Why take it out on a little innocent baby? The baby has no idea this is even happening, and please get a life. I said this to my mother. She really needs to get the hell off Facebook now. Trying to look the best on social media. I don't get it and never will. I went dog sledding yesterday for my birthday. It was a nice zen meditative ride while someone else steered. Dude said he would have some people browsing Instagram while on the sled. Not even posting, just browsing. Killed me a little inside since I had just brought a little camera to record it for me, myself and I to look back on. I didn't even really look at my camera while on. Just held it and admired the beauty around me while I hoped there was something being captured for future me. He was obviously speaking with some salty undertones about the social media addicts edit. Call me a hypocrite, that's fine. I guess I am perhaps. Imga. Ibazoth. This is my entire video I got out of the ride. Highly recommend going dog sledding. It's so peaceful. Edit 2. Many people asking. I'm in Colorado. Damn. That's really unfortunate. U/anal ducker 5000. Having to upgrade your electronics every couple of years. If phones had replaceable batteries like they used to, a lot more people would keep them longer. It's insane that the lifespan of your phone is limited to the lifespan of your battery. Seriously though, a battery replacement makes a phone almost feel brand new. When I swapped over to a Galaxy S8 from an iPhone 6 almost 4 years ago, I gave my iPhone 6 to my partner's mother as she had an iPhone 4S at the time. The iPhone 6 was going a little slow, but she paid about $70 NZD for a battery replacement, and suddenly the phone was almost as good as new. Sped right up and everything. Consumerism. I recently started trying to be more mindful of how I spend random money. I didn't realize I was buying something almost every day of the week, and some of it is just stupid stuff. I went to the store to buy tofu for a recipe. Then I left the store with $30 of crap I didn't need and forgot the tofu. Same. I recently learned how to shop online when the lockdowns happened. I could not believe how much I spent in 2020 in online purchases. Decided to curb it in 2021, which surprisingly, I ended with money still in the bank as opposed to 2020 where I already spent my Christmas bonus even before I got it. Working extra hours for free. The organization will gladly let you work for free but absolutely shouldn't do it. Source: team leader that protects my team from this. Oh, it's only 15 minutes. I don't mind, I don't care. Put it on your timesheet and I'll authorize it. You worked it. You get paid for it. My previous boss basically said that I have to see it as an investment and that I'll see it back later in some form or another. Never happened. Go figure. Working oneself to death. Edit. This comment blew up way more than I ever expected. Thank you all for the upvotes and awards. One of my favorite related quotes: you'll never hear someone on their deathbed say they regret they didn't work more. Edit. There's a lot of replies of examples that disprove this quote. It could be interpreted in many ways, but what I mean is in regards to working oneself to death specifically. Same job, constant OT, working on days off or while sick, etc. Regretting not getting an education, or working your way up in a career is different. I think we've all had those relatives who'd tell us at young ages to go to college because they regret never going. We should always strive to accomplish more. Caffeine. Sugar. Yes, everything in the US is so sweet. Your bread tasted like cake. And expensive weddings. That shit is not normal. Because of COVID, my 2020 wedding had to be postponed, along with all of the vendors and banquet hall. When our new date came around, 2021, my then fiancé and I decided that the most important thing was that our marriage was certified. We had our ceremony on our new date, cancelled all of our vendors except for our photographer and videographer, and spent the day with our closest people. And by the time 5:30 came around, we cut into our homemade cake while wearing track pants. I wouldn't trade our day for the world. Edit. Thanks for the awards, kind strangers. I'm reading lots of comments about how others did the same thing, and I'm glad we're not the only ones. Being Italian Canadians, Weddings are a huge deal with 200 plus people invited. Looking back though, I'm glad we did the low-key thing and put the money we saved into our house and Furby. Great choice. Spending money doesn't necessarily mean a good time. Sounds like you two have your act together already. Good luck. Unlimited growth. In fact, Netflix stock tanked as a result of new subscriber growth slowing, since most Americans that would want a Netflix account already has one. And they actually made a profit, just not enough of a profit for Wall Street. Always buying anything that is new, exciting, better. What a crock of shit. I'm going to screenshot this comment and sell it as an NFT. NFT stands for no duckin' thanks. Alcohol. I'm so tired of people telling me I'm not living my life cause I don't drink. Living in Wisconsin, the state that has alcoholism as a state pastime, I get a few weird looks every so often when I tell people I don't drink. I have an entire family tree of my mom's side that drank themselves to death. I'm good fam. Alcoholism runs on both sides of the family, and they all turn into a-holes when they get drunk enough. When I tell people I don't drink, they argue with me like I've just insulted their mother. So I fall back to the history of alcoholism in my family, and everyone tries to convince me I'll be different. Anything to validate their own drinking, I guess. Consuming alcohol edit. Thank you kind stranger for the award. My first one ever. Woo. Yep. COVID fueled a spike in heavy drinking. Hey, if keep my blood alcohol level high enough at all times it sterilize my blood so I can't get COVID. Having people validate you. Edit. My comment became what it sought to call out. I don't know if I'm proud or ashamed. Thanks all anyway. Kinderflick edit. Well, it only makes sense for me to make claims backed by evidence, correct? Relationships. It is okay to be alone. For sure, a rule I've learned is never start a relationship until you can be happy on your own. Fear of being alone traps a lot of people in toxic relationships. I used to take myself out for dinner and a movie. I used to buy myself flowers because those things just made me happy. $8 for flowers to brighten your room for a week isn't a bad deal. I'm in a relationship, and happy to know I'm there for love, not out of fear. Yup, I used to eat at restaurants alone, and when I told people that they gave me a weird look. But what's wrong with eating alone? You can take your sweet time and leave whenever you want. Weed. I'm a former stoner and honestly my life is much better sober. Yet so many people act like smoking weed all the time isn't really that bad and it's basically medicine. Nah fam, you're emotionally dependent. I still smoke occasionally but I don't miss weed being an everyday thing. Edit. My first gold. Thank you edit 2. Just to be clear, I'm not saying weed has no medicinal value whatsoever. I'm more poking fun at people who have a dependency cause it feels nice and using its medicine as an excuse to feed their habit. Was a full-time stoner too. Guess we had to go through it to see it on the other side. There's this drug culture of getting ducked up and being self-depreciating. Knowing there's something emotional that needs tending to but deciding to tell other people that they'd rather just smoke because there's something stoic about battling with their issues. People thinking it's necessary to smoke so much. Telling people how much they smoke. I always stayed high but I'd take a hit maybe every 30 minutes or so. It's really all you need. Anybody going off about their habit was as annoying. I used to get high pretty often but for some reason it started making me paranoid. So I just stopped. And I don't really mind. My lungs are happier for it. And my brain is a little bit clearer. Sometimes I feel like I'm missing out. But my bank account is better for not smoking. Alcohol. I'm a doctor and when I ask if someone smokes they say no. Smugly. When I ask if they drink, they gush and joke about how happily they do so. Alcohol is pretty much the worst drug emo. It's devastating. My wife is a recovering alcoholic and we used to fight about it a lot. I finally told her I wouldn't mention it ever again as long as she told her doctor the actual number of drinks she had a day. You think I'm overreacting? Tell your doc. If she says it's fine, I'll shut up. Of course she came home looking queasy with a script for naltrexone and a stack of pamphlets. She didn't believe it was that bad. Alcohol is absolutely devastating. How many drinks was it? Don't mean to get personal, but the answer can put it into perspective for the drinkers out here. Porn. As someone who struggled with this in my late teens and 20s, I completely agree with this. I joined an online community for my recovery and it was heartbreaking to see the stories of people, young and old, whose lives had been ruined by this addiction. I bet this is way more common than we know too. Most don't get help or even know they have a problem. Obsessing over celebrities' personal lives. I don't give a duck who's dating who had a baby, who got divorced, etc. And I don't understand why anyone else does. Am I getting old if the trash magazine covers are mostly about divorces of people I've never heard of? Being in a romantic relationship, it feels almost like you need to be in one or you're lonely. I have multiple degrees. I've won plenty of track and field medals, honor society awards, etc. But my mom never looked half so proud of me as the day I brought a BF home. That and that alone was the only accomplishment she wanted. It was sickening. That's so ducking depressing because I always suspected my parents would react the same way. The lotto. It's really fun to imagine what you would do if you won. If you're not blowing tons of money on it, that could be worth it right there. But it's so expensive. And your chances are like 0.0001 of winning something you can retire with. Cell phones. Constantly having it nearby. Checking it all the time. Having to be available 24/7 in case someone tries to contact you. As someone who has this addiction, it's really not healthy and adds a lot of unnecessary stress to my life. Being on social media, it's not entirely your fault. Social media is literally designed to be as addictive as crack. Constant profit. It's called greed, and not only unnecessary but is extremely dangerous. It is not sustainable. Edit. A word. Constant political updates. Debt. Fast unhealthy food. Being a fully grown adult who knows exactly what they want to do and how to do it as soon as someone turns 16-18. Coffee. Getting stuff delivered ASAP. Hustle culture. This rampant idea that everyone needs to be an entrepreneur is just annoying. People need to ducking take a break and chill. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.